All right, so this is our info minute, just some upcoming events we have in our council. Melissa's dropping the links in the chat. So some of them, the registration is closed, but I just kind of like to remember that some of these things are out there in case myself or someone I know is registered for them. So Blue Cosmic Shotgun Shoot, which is new, and that's supposed to be really fun. Wilderness First Aid, the ordeals are coming up. Also, Scoutmaster training, fishing derby, spring camporee, where we will have our next roundtable, and then also our Cub Scouts virtual roundtable, May 14th.
Yep. Just on a side note, if you are a Scoutmaster or Assistant Scoutmaster that needs to take their IOLS, please do so because unfortunately it will not be done over summer camp at RSR. So please go ahead and register. I know the training committee is making sure that they have one at least one a month or so. So they're constantly making sure that we are all fully trained. So here's our roundtable.
Here
Yay!
we are.
My name is Esmeralda Bonk. I am the Assistant Council Commissioner for Roundtable, and my partner.
I'm Beth Hayden, and I am also an assistant roundtable commissioner.
And then Steve Schmelzer, who is our other Roundtable Commissioner, could not be with us today, as everything, we're all volunteers and life just kind of got in the way.
Mhm.
So moving right along. So please prepare yourself for the Scout Oath and Law.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Okay, and two. All right, so please prepare yourself for our prayer in the manner that you feel most comfortable. This is a prayer about the earth, since Earth Day is coming at the end of the month. So I figured it's very appropriate. It says, Earth, teach me. Earth, teach me quiet, as the grasses are still with new light. Earth, teach me suffering, as old stones suffer with memory. Earth, teach me humility, as blossoms are humble with beginning. Earth, teach me caring, as mothers nurture their young. Earth, teach me courage, as the tree that stands alone. Earth, teach me limitations, as the ant that crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom, as the eagle that soars in the sky. Earth, teach me acceptance, as the leaves that die each fall. Earth, teach me renewal, as the seed that rises in the spring. Earth, teach me to forget myself, as melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me to remember kindness, as dry fields weep with rain. Moving on. For our safety moment, we figured with spring, we're all outside, right? So we figured poison ivy, poison oak, and poison ivy, poison sumac, and poison oak. So I, for one, have a very hard time figuring out poison ivy. It's just one of the ones, and I just cannot figure it out. So some things to ID. The leaves of three, let it be. ID'd by three pointed leaves by stem per stem. Leaf edges can be smooth or slightly toothed. Green in the summer may turn red. Ooh, there's a typo, my fault. Or slightly orange in the fall. It can grow as a vine or in a low shrub. I think that's where I'm always confused. You might notice small berries in the late summer or fall. For poison sumac, 7 to 13 leaflets per stem, always in pairs with one at the tip. And I think there's a really good picture of it that we have here. Grows as a tall shrub or small tree. Leaves are smooth-edged, elongated, and often glossy, and produces white or gray berries that hang in low clusters. For poison oak, You need to follow the leaves of 3. Unlike the ivy, leaflets are more lobed and rounder, like oak leaves, and grow as a shrub or vine, and leaves may have a fuzzy texture. So ways to treat it, because sometimes we panic and don't know how to treat it. So here you go. Wash with soap and cool water as soon as possible. It's recommended within 30 minutes of contact. Special cleaners like Technu, Zenfel, or IVX can be helpful. Wash under your fingernails, very important, and remove contaminated clothing or gear immediately. Use over-the-counter anti-itch cream to help with symptoms. Uh, I never can say this right.
Colloidal.
Thank you. Oatmeal baths can help. Apply cool, wet compresses for 10 to 15 minutes and take oral antihistamines. More information are found online, so make sure that your kiddos know how to recognize these 3.
Yes, and as someone who is horribly allergic to poison ivy, I will point out that if you do get it on your clothes or your scouts do, make sure you not just take them off, but like wash them right away because you can continue to reinfect yourself from just the oils on your clothes. So make sure that anything you were wearing at the time goes in the washer immediately.
Or don't
Know
wear
that it gets
it. I
worse with
can't.
each infection. So if you get it once and have a reaction, your next reaction will be worse than the first one, and worse
Great.
and worse each time you get it.
I better stay away from poison ivy then. That's
Yes,
what I'm
but
hearing.
I
Stay
did learn
on the
from Chris.
trail.
Yes, down the trail. Chris Danik did tell me your palm is the only part of your body that is immune to poison ivy, but it
Okay.
can spread it everywhere else. You gotta pay attention.
hmm
Good to know. Anyway, moving right along. Membership minute, Melissa.
All right, everyone. So it's exciting time. We're doing spring recruitment. So the new member coordinators, which is it's starting to be a grassroots group of people who do recruitment in their units. You don't have to have this as your official title. If you do anything with recruitment or retention, we'd love to have you join us on April 21st. It's a Tuesday. We're going to keep it to 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m. Just check in. How's your spring recruiting going? Is there anything we can do to support you? Do you need ideas? Have you not started yet? That's okay. We want to talk to everybody, see how it's going, how we can help support each other in our spring recruitment so that we can go into summer having some growth and continue it straight into the fall. So there's the QR code there. Hope to see everybody on April 21st.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
April 21st. Be there or be square.
Mhm.
All right. Our hot topic for today is service and gratitude. Beth, you want to take this?
Yes. So participating in service projects is one way that Scouts keep their promise to help other people at all times. It's always important to take time to consider all the good in our lives. Being of service is a great way to act on those feelings of gratitude. Scouts and their units can give back in many ways, service to the chartered organization, to the community, or to the world. Time spent on service projects should be enjoyable, age appropriate, and relevant to help ensure a meaningful experience. So some ways to give back to your chartered organization: conduct a cleanup project around the grounds, including litter pickup and landscaping maintenance. So our chartered organization is a church. We've done things like clean up the playground every spring, kind of just get it ready for springtime. The next thing we say, help with setup or breakdown for a special service or event. So our church is constantly asking us if we could like set out tables and chairs for the next event. So we do that. It takes us 5 minutes with a bunch of scouts. So it's much easier for us to do it than for, 1 or 2 people from the church. And then offer to serve refreshments or hand out bulletins at a service if your chartered organization is a place of worship, or really if it's any place that's having any type of event, you can see how you can help them with that. So we were going to, if we can figure out how to use a whiteboard, throw up some ideas of service projects that we can do. And we're using the term service project very loosely, so it's something you could do with your unit, or maybe you could have your scouts if they need those service hours or conservation hours for rank, things you could have them attempt to do for those things. So service project is kind of what kind of volunteer service can we do? Yes, Esmeralda.
I'm
You're
trying.
thinking.
Found it. I might have to stop sharing and then go there.
Makes sense.
That would make sense. Because there it is. New whiteboard. Ta-da!
There we go.
That's what I had to do. I had to stop sharing the slides.
Okay, good to know.
All right.
So does anyone have any ideas? You can put it in the chat or you can say it out loud if you have any ideas of service projects.
So our troop just did Scouting for Food Spring. So
Smart.
we got the flags in the fall because last year there was a traffic jam at the food pantry in the fall. So we decided to
Okay.
ask them how it is other times of year, and they're like, nobody gives us anything any other time of the year. So they were super grateful to have a reload right in time for Easter.
Right. Any
And Kelly
other?
had her hand up.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah. Well, we've just done a few things. The troop and actually my pack we did the Feed My Starving Children.
Mhm.
Um, and they actually had a mobile pack out in New Lenox, so we participated in that. And then we did just do maintenance at the Grace Episcopal Church that we use for our den meetings. So it's not our charter organization, but we go there for den meetings, and they had to move gravel and everything. We didn't have a great turnout, but they got the job done. And then my group, we went for a hike, and the point was we grabbed garbage bags and picked up litter along the trail. So
Mhm. Yeah, it can be as
just
simple as that sometimes, you know?
very, yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do. Just make simple things more frequent.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think the maintenance of either your charter organization or your meeting place is important. And also, sometimes you can talk to different people there. Like if you talk to the custodian, they'll give you a different idea of something to do. If you talk to like the youth group leader or something like that, so you can ask everybody you see there how you can help them, and they usually will have ideas of things that a bunch of kids can do that they would struggle to do themselves quickly. So always good to ask people at your locations of how you can help. Um,
I know our troop has done the Illinois Food Bank here in Joliet,
yeah. Hmm.
where it's like cleaning cans that were donated and, making sure they're not dented, or food that was donated, that there are certain foods that they'll keep and certain foods that they don't, and, dividing a lot of that stuff. So that's another way.
Yeah, like just food pantries in general. Like there's the Northern Illinois Food Bank too that has good events for scouts.
Yeah, and so you can go as a troop, you can go individually. They
Hmm.
sometimes do like those satellite food
Yep.
distributions, so they always looking for help from there.
Our
Um,
troop is working with Midwin Tallgrass Prairie.
Okay.
They've been really great and very flexible. We're trying to do conservation with them. They were going to have us do seed collection, invasive species removal. I think this weekend it's brush control. We've had 4 events scheduled since the fall, and every single one, like, you want to know when it's going to rain? I'll tell you when we have this event scheduled. So we're going to have brush control this weekend. It's going to happen, maybe. But they're really great to work with, and they have a lot of conservation options. So if you're looking for that for your scouts, and especially at the troop level, they have a lot of great stuff. And I think all of you missed the wonderful discussion we had last month at Roundtable. Jay mentioned all of this wonderful service opportunities you can have just providing to your wonderful RSR camp. Reach out to Jay. He has a whole list of options of how your unit can give back to RSR.
Yes, he has days and days and days of service for any units who want to come out and help. So also along the lines of the conservation, we've also done something like with the Will County Forest Preserves. They have days where they're doing specifically conservation types of things like removing invasive species and things like that. So if your scouts need those conservation hours, that's a good place for them to either do individually or as a troop. I would also mention things like nursing homes. Around the holidays, there's caroling and things like that, but they also kind of need help and assistance at other times of the year as well. So you could always go there and just, play bingo with them or whatever they need. They love to do crafts. So you could, talk to your local nursing homes, assisted livings, things like that.
Our troop loves to pull the bingo balls for them. So
Mm-hmm.
we get to
It's
bingo
fun.
one Sunday a year. The kids love it, but the people at the home take it very seriously. So make sure
Yes,
they're very
bingo is very
serious about
serious.
their number pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is coming up on, I think it's the first weekend of May every year. I think we're at like the 8th or 9th year of Scouts Trash the Trash Day. It's an international effort to clean up trash. And so you can participate, any unit can participate and just clean up trash that first weekend in May. But if you sign up with their organization online, and I think it's like scoutstrashthetrash.org or something, you can get a patch. And then they ask you after the fact to weigh how much you collected so that they can be like, this effort across the world collected this many, I think they're doing it in kilograms of trash. So it's kind of cool to see in the end that you're part of this worldwide movement to clean up
Cool.
trash. And you can technically do it any day. Just sign up if if you've got to camp out during your camp out or do it the next weekend, this works too.
True. Yeah, that reminds me, so our village of Mokina is having their like village cleanup day this weekend. So things like that, you can always find out what events are going on in your community and see how you can help with things like that. We even have like Mission Meals is doing a meal for people who who are in the need of food, and so they are coming to our chartered organization next week for a meal, and so we prepared bags of like hygiene items and toys and things like that that they're going to give out. So it's kind of good to kind of figure out what's going on in your area and how you can help with those things. You don't have to, do them yourself. You can just help other people.
The other thing that I put down is the local fish fries. So during, the time that fish fries are very popular, a lot of places are VFWs and American Legions. And so they are always welcoming scouts to help with those things
Mm-hmm.
for service. I know my troop also collects trash for local festivals and stuff like that as well. So that's another thing that is
Mm-hmm.
also good because in many cases, depending on if they're municipalities or it might come up with a donation at the end of the day or at the end of the event. So you never know
True.
what the service might, aside from their getting service hours, but there might be a donation that comes in later as appreciation. So
Yeah. One last thought I had, humane societies or animal shelters types of things. Kids love that angle. You don't necessarily, need to go walk strange dogs, but you could make toys for them. You can make blankets. You can organize some type of drive for those places. And the kids really enjoy feeling like, they're helping animals. So that's something to keep in mind too.
yeah, good point. Any
All
other
right.
suggestions for anybody? Well, this is a good start, at least to have
Mhm.
something on record,
Yeah.
as well as having these in a kind of a brainstorming sessions because sometimes we get so stuck in our rut as to what to do. So
Mhm.
having to remind each other is like, hey, you could do this, you could do that, also helps quite a bit. So,
And I think
any-
this month for national membership, they're looking at ways to use service to promote scouting. So don't forget while you're out there, be in uniform, be present, share your successes, share how many bags of food you collected, how many meals you prepped for Scout Feed My Starving Children, how many pounds of seeds you collected in Midwin. Put it on social media. Let Cassandra know, let me know. We can promote that you're going to be doing these activities and we can get it out to the public to know what good scouting is doing in our community. And it might even get you some new members.
Good point.
absolutely. Anybody else? All right. Well, if there's nothing else, you can always throw it up on the Facebook page. Hey, where my unit's doing this. If anybody wants to join, or here's a thought and idea. So use our Facebook page also as a way of giving ideas of what other units can do. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.